Welcome to Yeeflow Workflow Designer tutorial. In this video, we'll delve into the versatile query data action, exploring what it is, when to use it, and how to leverage its capabilities. The query data action in Yeeflow retrieves single or multiple records from a selected data source like data list, document library, form report, or data report. It stores the queried data in workflow variables for further use. It's essential for dynamic data retrieval in workflows. Now let's explore how to use this feature effectively. Suppose you are filling out a purchase request form. If you select a different purchase category, the task will be forwarded to a different person in charge. How did it happen? In this case, we use the data list of PR category to retrieve data based on the mapping relationships between purchase categories and responsible persons. Then use the query data action to extract the required data. Now let's look specifically at how to configure the query data action in workflow. First, drag a query data action to the right canvas. Once you've added the action, click the Settings button at the bottom to open the Settings window. From the Settings panel, let's begin with the basics. First, choose an application from the Application drop-down list. Next, choose the data source from the drop-down list. It can be a data list, document library, form report, or data report. This is where you'll query data. In the Data Filter Settings section, click the Condition button to set the data filter condition, which helps you decide which data you want to query. Moving on to the Query Results section, choose between Single Item and Multiple Items. If you select Single Item, only the first record from the queried data source will be returned. Click the Select Fields button to open a pop-up window where you can choose the fields from the data source whose values you want to save to workflow variables. Check the checkboxes beside each field to select them. Once selected, you can associate each field with a workflow variable from the drop-down list to save the field's value. If you choose multiple items, the query result will include multiple records, and the return value can be saved to a list type variable. Click the Select Fields button to open the pop-up window again. In the pop-up window, select one list type variable from the associated list drop-down. If you don't have one, you can create a new one. Once you've selected the associated list, you can map the fields from the data source to the fields in the list type variable. The values from the selected fields will be saved in the associated list. Don't forget to determine how many records you want to include in the results. Please note that the maximum number of items you can query in one request is 1,000. For this business scenario, we set back to the single item. Next, finish setting up and publishing the workflow. In the submitted forms, we can see that when you select the different purchase category, the workflow has been assigned to the different person in charge. And there you have it. You have learned how to effectively use the query data action to dynamically retrieve data during your workflow steps. Thanks for joining us on this tutorial. Stay tuned for more Yeeflow tutorials to enhance your workflow capabilities.